The devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right. Welcome again to a Crimes After Dark show. I appreciate you coming here and sharing your Thursday evening. My team's letting me know that they can hear volume. I don't even ask anymore. They're just like, hey, yeah, we can hear you. It's fantastic backstage. We've got exciting things to talk about today. It sucks in this regard. We talk about on the Devil's Advocates, we have multiple cases we follow. We kind of had a big, long discussion about that yesterday. Today, I spent all day with a different case while my team's going, holy shit, did you see so-and-so's new video? Did you see the document drop at Idaho 4? Did you see Hitler's new response? I'm like, Jesus, would Idaho 4 slow down for a little bit? Like, it's been 3 years. Why is it busier now than it has been for the last 3 years? It's insane, people. It's insane. And so, yeah, once again, we are trying to cover other cases. I literally spent a major part of today on another case with stunning stuff that you are not going to want to miss. Let's bring the panel up very quickly. We'll talk about what my day looked like. We'll talk about all the stuff I missed. My panel will fill me in. I'm sure Dago's got news about what's been going on in his side of the world as well. So let's get everybody on panel as quickly as possible. We'll get Dago up first since he's queued up backstage first. How you doing today? You got yourself on mute? Oh,
Again, forget about it.
You got a tie on and everything. You got the t-shirt tie. What is this? This is.
I got dressed up. It was a special occasion here. I'm trying to impress. Hey, forget about it. It's a t-shirt, folks. It's not real. For those of you that can't tell, yeah, just a little comic adding. Or
for the guy who wants to look dressed up but doesn't want to dress up.
Yeah, because it's super comfortable. It's like dry fit material or something. I was like, what the hell? I don't have to choke myself out, but can still look right. It is what it is. Anyway,
any highlights in your day today that you had on your show and some? I mean, you had you had an attorney on today. What was
Andrew D. Myers? Yes,
yeah,
100%. Yes, great show, great conversation. Andrew is he's so laid back. It's like sitting and talking to your neighbor about fishing. He's amazing. I love him. I always have. And I really enjoyed the conversation, and he's right in the same lane we all are about the Idaho 4 situation we talked about, of course, and he just doesn't understand it. He doesn't even have, as an attorney, and he's a civil attorney too, folks. By the way, just so I don't know if anybody that was there listened and heard, but Andrew Myers used to be a reporter, which is why he went back to doing the podcasting stuff after he went to law school and all that, because he enjoyed it. So he's very laid back, though. Very, very nice guy. Very cool. And I can't wait to do it again. So yeah, for those of you that didn't catch that, please head on over, if you will, one of these days when you get some time, check that interview out. It was great. So
I kind of came in and watched for a little while, and then I left, and I came back and watched a little bit more. So I caught pieces of it, and yeah, I think I heard that moment when we was talking about formerly being in like in journalism size with that and reporting and stuff with that, and how he's been a true crime buff his whole life. It's so cool when people who are professionals are doing content like this and kind of talking about it from non-mainstream media perspective. I'm going to bring Robin up next. We'll get one on last because one likes to give us a good monologue for the evening, and so I want to be able to give him the last shot to do that. Let's get Robin on stage with us. How you doing, Robin?
I'm doing well, thank you. You're looking wonderful, gentlemen.
First of all, I need to ask this. I mean, clearly, Dago was busy doing interviews today. I was busy doing interviews today. What the fuck were you doing today?
What the fuck was I doing?
Hey.
I was emailing people for you. I'm part of your people.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, you forgot that one. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. I forgot. You're setting up stuff on the back scene. Shit, you actually do work for me. Yeah, right. Well, you don't work for me. You've got your full-time job. I was just teasing you, of course, but
I know.
That's our way of welcoming you, Robin. Just that's how you get welcomed around here, you know.
Yeah. Hey, look, I was raised with 4 brothers, so I can deal with it. Okay.
I figured you'd see it for what it was. Probably rather like, man, that guy's an asshole. No, it was all supposed to be funny. And
you know what? It's great. You two are like that because I do the same thing with my mods, and they're just like, shut up. Just
yeah.
They bully me. It is what it is.
I'm sure one absolutely did nothing today and was completely worthless. We'll bring him up next. Do you have anything special you did that you want to share today, Robin? I mean, things that you can share, because some things you can't share and some things you can share. What do you have to share with us today? Anything special?
Well, what do I have to share? Well, I'm missing my
your headpiece.
Yes. So maybe he'll be along because that'll be the he's getting his own fan base. Maybe he needs a TikTok.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody that comes on the show seems to get their own. Oh, look at that. One dropped out and came back in. We got just speaking, by the way, I hope this isn't going to be a spoiler. We didn't talk about this as a group, but on looking ahead a couple nights, on Saturday night, we're going to be missing JJ from State of the Deep. I think we're going to get him tonight. I think he's going to be in a little bit late tonight. If I remember right, he will be here, I think. Pretty sure he's going to be here. Shit, and I'm trying to remember.
I'm not sure if he is or not.
We have a very complex schedule, but I do think he told me that he would be out on Saturday. However, we do have a special guest. I think Dago has had her on the show. We're going to have Logan from Bronx Tales come on with us on Saturday night. So we're looking forward to having her. We're excited about that. I've been wanting to talk to her for quite some time. I drop into her show every once in a while to see how she's doing. I'm like, man, she seems to have our kind of vibe. We should be talking to her. So
and I'll tell you what, she gave me a rundown of her bio today.
Yeah.
That woman has such a diverse background. And she's been following true crime since she's like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I just
I heard that in your
show, Dago, when she was on with you. She's just amazing.
She explained her intro because, we had the same conversation as you and I did, Lee. And I was like, how'd you get involved? How did I get involved? All that. And she told me, and I went, she's talking about watching the Charlie Manson stuff when she's 9 years old. And I went, what? You're awesome. I love it.
I think Andrew on your show today talked about Charles Manson too.
He did. That's where he started at.
Yeah. That's super interesting. See, I did catch a little bit of that interview as well. So hopefully that's a good thing for you. I mean, I know you've talked to her before. We've been looking forward to talking to her, and we got an opportunity with JJ out that day. I thought, well, let's see if we can get somebody on with us that can kind of fill a hole, since we're going to be short one of our members. And so, and I was hoping, I didn't talk to you about it, but I was hoping you'd be cool with that because you've had her on the show.
I love Logan. She's amazing. She's really like very down to earth, very laid back, very easy to talk to, and I think she's gonna slide right in here like a glove, guys. That's just gonna be awesome.
Super looking forward to that. Let's get one on stage, finish the panel out for the evening. Again, I'm not sure. We might get JJ a little bit later. I feel like we're going to get him a little bit later, but maybe not. One, what's up in your world? Have you done anything today? Have you gotten off your ass and done anything, or are you the dead link in this show?
Look.
Well, I'm already dead. I can't.
I know.
Oh yeah,
can't be
he's
dead
a
if I'm already
vampire. That's
dead.
right.
He's like all stone silent. He's all stone silent. Awkward.
Did you go draw any blood from anybody today, bro?
Boy, I had to actually. I spent the last hour mellowing out to Pink Floyd. I had to clear my mind.
Okay.
I love me some Pink Floyd, man.
That'll definitely put you in a mellow mood for sure.
Yeah. So I do know one that you've been busy. I mean, I'm sure you had your regular job and you had your family, but I know you've been busy on our channel and stuff behind the scenes. So a lot of stuff happens behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. My team's always busy, and I can't even keep up with you. You got stuff to talk about tonight. I can't even keep up with.
I think I talked to Robin like nonstop, like like all day. I'm like, oh, what about this? What about that?
I'm excited, by the way, to hear. I'm excited to hear. I don't know if with Dago as long as he was on today. I don't know if he saw it or not, but Pavarotti, I understand, had some more talk about Kopaka. I want to know what the summary is. If you could talk about that.
Yeah. So
I wanted to watch that. Tomboy actually told me to check it out. I never got a chance to because I've been rolling all day with it.
I got
that's my thing. Like, there's only so many hours in the day. I don't even know how we all do it. Like, I was doing interviews with other people, pre-recording shows. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's do the monologue. Let's get one to read us in, and then we'll talk more about what our day looks like.
All right. Is it good to be alive in the den?
Always.
Thursday night. Mm-hmm. It's Thursday, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Yes. I did that today too.
As always, love you, Jackson, Juliana, my beautiful wife. All right, here we go. Welcome to Devil's Advocates. This is where the noise fades and the uncomfortable questions get louder. This is not a place for quick takes or easy answers. This is where certainty is slowed down, stripped apart, and left under a harsh light long enough to show its cracks. Tonight, we step into the shadows of three tragedies that refuse to rest, stories etched into the public consciousness, not because they were resolved, but because they were explained just enough for the world to move on. In Idaho, 4 lives were taken in the dead of night inside a house that should have meant safety. A college town went from quiet to infamous in hours. Investigators spoke. Documents were filed. Narratives hardened fast. But when you sit with the timeline, when you stop skimming and start listening, there are moments that feel hollow, delays that linger, details that raise more questions the longer you stare at them. And the most disturbing part isn't what we know, it's what we're told not to ask. In Delphi, a small bridge became a symbol of unfinished justice, a grainy video, a voice recorded in fear, years of silence, followed by sudden certainty. An arrest meant to close the door, but instead it cracked something open. Evidence passed that twist, procedures that feel rushed or delayed at all the wrong moments. A case that asks a dangerous question. Is resolution the same thing as truth? And in Kentucky, violence crossed a line that should never be crossed. District Judge Kevin R. Mullins was shot and killed inside his own courthouse chambers. A place built to represent order became a crime scene. The sheriff, entrusted with protecting that courthouse, was arrested and charged with murder. A routine day collapsed into chaos, unanswered questions, and a chilling reminder that darkness doesn't always lurk outside the system. It can exist within it. Closure is comforting. Truth is not. This is not a courtroom. No verdict will be handed down here. But this is a place where the official story doesn't get a free pass. Devil's advocates, we argue the side no one wants to hear. We slow down the timelines. We sit in the silence between facts. We question the assumptions that became headlines and the headlines that became belief. Because justice doesn't fear scrutiny, and truth doesn't need to be rushed. Dim the lights, put your certainty on the shelf, and stay with us in the dark a little longer. This is Devil's Advocates. And with that, live from New York, it's Thursday night.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And by the way, it's funny because I saw like Dago had some, probably old timer come in that hasn't seen him for a while, comes into to Dago's side of the stream and sees King of the Clips all over the screen and you talking about Devil's Advocates. And he's like, what the fuck is this? Like, I thought it turned on Dago's show.
Yeah, CEO's been around for a long time. So my apologies for people that are popping in that haven't been here in a while. This is what we do in the evenings now, guys. But thank you for all joining us, very much so.
It almost feels like, out of respect for your channel, we need to maybe make it a little bit more clear somehow, because I realize you're dual streaming, right? And so when we do this whole big long monologue about the Devil's Advocates, yeah, you're on the show every single night, but when you're co-streaming it, I bet it is confusing for people that turn it in. Like, why are we talking about the Devil's Advocates and why isn't Joe on, on screen, and what the fuck's going on? Like, where's Dago? We need to maybe work on that so that when those moments happen, when somebody hasn't seen you for a while and doesn't know what the hell's going on, they're not confused. Like, did somebody just take over Dago's channel?
Yeah, Dago fell asleep and some guy in a hoodie showed up. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some vampire guy. Yeah.
Right.
So look, I mean, for those who don't know, we'll be a little bit brief on it. I was on Dago's show as a guest. We hit it off like two peas in a pod. We had him on our show. We hit it off again like two peas in a pod. We have kind of a panel over here. Dago started showing up more regularly, and it just has never gone back. Our communities are very, very enmeshed. We love each other. We cover a lot of the same cases. It just was a match. Yeah. Made in heaven in a way. Now, my show was a regular show. He started coming on my show, which is why we kind of do a lot of lead into Devil's Advocates. But for those who are unfamiliar with why that is, this has been a good thing, I think, for both of us. But maybe we need to, make sure Dago gets his props so people know what the hell's going on when he's broadcasting and it's got my branding all over the
place. Either way, whatever works for you guys, I'm good with it.
So can you... Can you share with us a little bit of, what do you know about the Pavarotti video on Kopaka? Because Idaho 4, I'm one of the people that has been saying for the longest time. In fact, I want to repeat, my first ever video on Idaho 4 on social media before I used to blog, but when I did social media, my first one was, what if Brian Kohberger was just the getaway driver? And I asked, what if somebody else actually was the person who did the killings? It didn't seem like Kohberger was the kind of person capable of it. And what if he just drove a car? Maybe that's why he got tagged with it, because he was there, but maybe he never even went to the house. That was one of my first videos. And here we are 3 years plus later, and people are more and more talking about, like, Howard Bloom. I don't think Kohberger did it. I think somebody else did it, and Kohberger was there, and maybe he was trying to impress a friend with the forensics. But all of a sudden, fucking after 3 years and a guilty plea, people are starting to say, hey, wait a minute. And guess whose name keeps coming up again? Kopaka. Fucking Harsh Reality's talked about Kopaka. I've talked about Kopaka. Yeah. We got 4 requests on Kopaka. And now Pav's talking about Kopaka. So explain to me what he did today, or what he said.
So he's basically, a few things. So he focused on, obviously we everyone's pretty much showing Steve G's interview, right? We did it yesterday. How he kind of blurred out, that there were 2 people kind of that were targets. We pretty much know that now. So he was kind of bridging some stuff that has to do with that, to focus on that. So he doesn't, there's no like definitive 100% like thing that says like, oh, Kopaka is the other suspect, but there's a lot of stuff kind of in documents that you can kind of like imply certain things. So one of the things, I mean, I guess I could explain explain. So let's see. So I could add.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah,
by the way, I want to recognize Michelle Rose. Said I hope this helps with the donation. Absolutely, it helps. Thank you so much. Like, believe me, we're bleeding money. We're spending money on things behind the scenes, and we don't make enough to cover it. So every little bit helps. But yeah, go ahead.
Why
you need to remove that? I need to remove that from stage.
What happened?
There you go. How's that?
Yeah. Okay. So this is from one of the documents, and it's I'll just read it. So it's what the state is not saying is that they're talking about timing advance records. Okay, that the timing advance record existed in AT&T November and December 2022. The state has to know this to be true because in April 2024, the state produced the actual records from AT&T for cell towers and individual timing advance records for 2 of the 4 deceased. And then they had this thing blacked out, as well as over 3,800 people on the cell tower. These records were from November 2022 and were produced in discovery of Koberger in 2024. So there's been a lot of stuff saying that they didn't have record. They had it. They had the timing advance record. So basically, I don't know if people understand how timing advance records work and the CSLI, how that works. So timing advance, it takes like 2 points. If I had a map, I could kind of show you, and it basically you put a line. You can draw a line from one, like they'll use like a tower within another tower. Mm-hmm. So there's usually so you're within a tower. Think of it as like a circle. So you're at a certain point, and then your info hits off of that other tower, and between you basically draw a line, and you can kind of narrow it down almost like very, very closely to where someone was, from their location with their phone. What the important thing what it is about that is that they never, they say, oh, they didn't have the timing advance records from BK. Well, it's a bunch of bullshit. They do have, they don't want to show, they're trying to play games with it and say that they don't have it. Because in that immediate circle that covers the Moscow area, in that area that they're focusing on, you're not going to find BK. That is the whole problem. That's the issue.
Right.
So they're saying, oh, we don't have it. They do have it. They had 3,800 people. They're saying they have Xana and they have Maddie's.
And there it is, right there. Bingo. You just said it. 100. Not to interrupt you, but they could have Brian's,
right?
If he was in that box. We'll just say if he was in that box, okay?
So
they have Xana and Maddie's. Right. If that tells everybody that he wasn't in that box, okay?
Right, and that was an important thing. When they first did Dragnet of 3,800 people, Koberger's phone wasn't in it, and that was a problem for them because he wasn't there. And I want to clarify one other thing, and it gets a little sciencey, and I hope I get this right. It's been a while since I've done this because I had this down a while ago. The fuckery comes with this. AT&T at the time of the murders, AT&T's policy was not to just turn over to law enforcement timing advance records. And so what Moscow Police Department tried to do was what I would call fuckery, which is they told you, look, AT&T doesn't provide timing advance records to law enforcement. What they failed to tell you is the FBI was already embedded, and the FBI did get the timing advance records because the FBI requested it and got it. And Cy Ray, the expert on timing advance records, knew it. And he says, you're doing a fuckery on the public. You're telling them AT&T doesn't provide, as a general practice, timing advance records to law enforcement, which was technically true, but you're hiding the fact that you did have it. You had it, and I know you did, because I saw your work, and I saw what you were saying that you can trace Koberger doing, so you must have the timing advance records, because I know this business. If that makes sense.
And that's when Hitler shoved his foot up to his thigh, down his fucking throat, because the statement he made when he called Cy Ray a conspiracy theorist and all that, he had no idea what the hell he was talking about, because all he would refer back to was the 7 days. That is no bearing on this, guys. The feds don't need 7 days, 10 days, 3 days, 4 hours. They can do whatever the fuck they want when they want to do it. So it has nothing to do with that. that's where he should have kept his mouth shut. Period.
Yeah.
Right. Because they have a back door in order to get those timing advance records through Boyd Jackson.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Well,
the guy has worked with him. So Cy knows.
That's just it. I mean, you're right, Robin. Cy knew that they had the timing advance records while trying to, again, it's trickery. They use things like a car was seen that is consistent with the vehicle that Brian Koberger drives, or pinging off the cell tower that services the house at 1-1. They use trickery to make you imply that Koberger was there at the house when they know damn well he wasn't. But if they word it just cleverly and you catch them, they'll be like, well, I never said he was there. I just said he pinged off the cell tower that services the house up there. I never said he was there. You implied that. Yeah, they knew you were going to imply that. That's why they said it.
Jennings, and Ashley Jennings blatantly lied to the court, folks. Blatantly lied.
Yes.
She knew she had it. She knows she has it, and lied. And that, in my opinion, I'd like to understand how that's okay. That should have thrown that shit out right there, in my opinion.
Right.
So
that, and she lied about how many towers there were in that area. Tried to
say,
you know.
And if I remember right,
3.
See, here's more of the fuckery. We're gonna get flagged. We're gonna get flagged. I'm telling you that. We're dropping too many F-bombs. Yeah.
So I don't know how to get the sheet back up there.
I just need to put it in a.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the same thing we just looked at, but if you take out the redacted part, it's going to say a person of interest at the beginning of the investigation, and where that becomes to show. So what does that mean? A person of interest? Like who are they talking? Could it be? Are they talking about Jack D? No, this isn't Jack D. I know everyone's, he was suspect 1. Yeah, he was listed as suspect 1, but there's another suspect that they're hiding from us. So if I remove this was from a tip that came in. So if you want to, I guess I'll read it. While on scene, L arrived and explained the vehicle was nosed and off-road facing the farm field. Also stated a friend came to the spot several days prior. Also used a metal detector to search the area. I thanked L for his assistance and cleared the area after additional visual searches were conducted. In addition to this information, during my initial phone call with L, told me he was painting the apartment of B blank K blank, the previous tenant and person named in tips during the initial investigation. There you go. Again. See? Stated that L stated he could see a knife blade in the gutter of the building from the apartment window. I requested WSU PD respond, collect the item, which they later did. The blade is serrated cooking-style knife with the handle broken off. The blade portion was about 8 inches long, 2 inches wide, per the WSU officers who collected it. Based off this description and the condition of the knife, I do not believe it matched the wounds found on each other of the victims. However, I will still collect the knife from WSU PD as soon as possible in order to properly analyze the item. So I understand they say that it's not the knife. Okay, so the point isn't about the knife. The point is this saying person named in the tips during the initial investigation. That is the
and look,
part.
Are you implying, as I think so, BK here isn't Brian Koberger, it's Brent Kopacka.
Yes.
Look at the length look at the length of the last name. It looks a lot shorter than Koberger. It looks like it would be a Kopacka. And if it's Kopacka, it is enormous because just to what you said, I'm putting it all together right now. You said, look, they hid the fact that they had timing advance records on 2 of the victims, and they hid from you another suspect. Then you see this report saying there was another suspect of name BK, and I bet you that's not Koberger, that's Kopacka, because I don't think the painted apartment has anything. I think, and if anything, the painted apartment goes along with the whole Brent Kopacka's address being at Pimlico Apartments or being at the coffee apartment when he moved.
Right. And because Brian only lived in one place.
Right. So that's not the apartment. So holy shit, because now you come Steve Gonzalez. Well, I believe now, based on timing advance records, that somebody else was the target of the house. And I said, that makes no fucking sense. How can you tell by the timing advance records that somebody else was the target of the house? I'll tell you how. This is how. Because again, if all the timing advance records was going to tell you is whether or not Kohberger was heading towards the house or not, it doesn't tell you who the target was. But if the timing advance records they're talking about is Brent Kopacka's timing advance records, that makes a huge difference. Yes, that means Brent Kopacka was on their radar for something else, and they thought it was something else that was going on.
Yeah.
And oh my God, people. I don't know if people, I know you guys all get it, but like how many people are understanding that
it's a big thing.
More and more comes out that Brian Kohberger, if he was even there, may have had an accomplice. There's another suspect, and they've been hiding this whole time. And somebody other than Kaylee was the target of the house, and they've been hiding that the whole time. And it just makes you wonder, like, why are we just now starting to piece this all together?
So then we got this. I got this. This is just a little thing showing how they specifically were going after Maddie, and Xana.
That's huge. The fact that they're going
because
after
I know,
because I know,
yeah. Well, I know everyone. I know people are like, oh, but Kaylee, I understand. I know that her face was bashed in, and I know some people are still gonna say, oh, but Dylan lured her there, and this and that. I get it. I understand that, but from this info that we have and putting this stuff together, and Steve's comments and this stuff, I think Maddie. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me give you guys something to think on, okay? And I know a lot of people have looked at Kaylee's situation and said she's got to be a target. She's got to be a target. She's got to be a target. Stop for a minute, folks, and think about something. Kaylee, a lot like Xana, in my opinion, was a fighter. If Kaylee, say for instance, she walked in on Maddie being attacked and tried to defend her and jumped on this person's back or started fighting and defending her, herself and or Maddie, the person committing the crime is going to get angry, for one. Okay. In turn, they're going to get frustrated with the situation and probably flipped out on her because of this. And that's probably why she got much more than what she should have. Okay. Because
and I agree with you
in a defensive mode, in my opinion.
Yeah,
sorry.
I got something to jump in on that. Just a real quick statement before Lee says something. What I heard too, what I know just from hearing, obviously I don't know Kaylee. I didn't know her personally, obviously, but just hearing from her friends and the interviews, well, my understanding is that Kaylee was a little bit feisty.
Yes.
She kind of not saying she was nasty.
No,
she's a really nice person, but she was a little feisty. So she is someone that wouldn't keep her mouth shut,
Right. So, and just from what we know about the Gonsalves, that makes sense. Go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
A couple things. One, it looks like I want to acknowledge you real quick. You got a new member. I got a new member in the last 10 minutes here, and we didn't acknowledge our new members. So thank you for the new members. I think both of us picked up a new member tonight on the stream, Dago and us over here in the Devil's Advocate. So thank you for our newest members for joining and becoming members of this channel. I think you're going to find the $2.99 on our side, and totally worth it, especially since we've got some great Delphi stuff. Some great Kentucky Letcher County stuff coming up. Holy crap, like the stuff we did today. But let me add this. I agree with your guys' logic. So first of all, more and more, the Xana and Maddie is the target thing is making more and more sense. Again, we know now, that they were looking at those two girls' phones, and now another suspect, and that would lead us to another BK that's not Kohberger. Holy shit, all the pieces are starting to come together there for a much different narrative. And I agree, Kaylee could have just enraged somebody. I still don't think it's out of the possibility that Kaylee was lured back because they knew the hit was coming on the house. And it was like a 2-for-1 deal. It's like, if Kaylee can get back at the house and they're already going to come there for two other people, they could take Kaylee out at the same time, because it might've been a 2-for-1 deal. And that's where it gets confusing people, because they're like, well, that's not realistic. It might be. If somebody knew that a hit was coming on that house for two girls, they could have brought a third one in just to make sure she's there for it.
Yeah, 100%. That makes perfect sense.
What I think is that it's not mutually exclusive. All four, unfortunately, could have been targeted for different reasons. But what you have to remember is that you have players who could all be intertwined. Yes, we have Kopacka, potentially. We have potentially Brian. But you also have Quinn, who has drug ties. You have Jonah Chapin in the area that night, who is high up on, and potentially frat involvement. I'm telling you, this is like a perfect storm of several different factions. And those 4 young people who didn't deserve to die somehow are intertwined in all of it.
Yes.
Andrew Myers today, one of the main things he said was that he has always believed that this had something to do with drugs. Maybe not necessarily a hit, but it definitely had something to do with drugs, as I've thought. Most of us have thought, pretty much from the beginning. Welcome, Sandram, to the sauce. Thank you for jumping in and joining us. Another meatball in the house. Appreciate you. So yeah,
and that's why I don't like to. We don't have the 100% right definitive info. So
of course.
It's a theory. We just bring up stuff. We put stuff out there. That's how we discuss things. But for that reason, to me, I think there's enough info that shows this was some kind of cooperated drug hit or whatever. And this is why, I can't let it go. Why would Dylan be left alive? Dylan has some, it might not be Dylan that is the bad. Remember who her boyfriend was and who he's connected to. There's something there. There's definitely something there. Was Quinn there? We don't know. We've been trying to show that. We don't know if Quinn was there. There's weird things with that, but a regular, like a hit, they're not going to leave witnesses. A drug hit, a revenge hit,
right?
They're not going to leave witnesses. So why would Bethany and why would Dylan be left? Why would they be left alive?
Dylan is Quinn's girlfriend.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, right.
So
what did she even said? And she even said what she gave us the info. She gave us the answer. She said it. What did she say? I don't not word for word, but her quote. What did she say? I think it seemed like the person.
I think he may have known me and wanted to protect me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who else would have known her?
Good point.
That has those kind of ties, but Quinn Kelly. And again, I'm not trying to accuse, but these are questions that have to be asked and they can't be ignored.
So once again, here we are on a show talking about our favorite topic. Was there more to his Kopeka connection?
Well, there's a little thing here from Hitler. It's like a minute. You'll see.
Does it have audio? Does it need audio? Hold on. We got the wrong thing on screen.
Blood in the house.
Wrong thing.
Whoop. There we go. I just backed it up.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
If the magistrate judge had been told there's unknown male B in blood in the house attached to the handrail, that might have made more of a difference to her. Maybe a sheath that can be carried to the house and blood in the house that's not the same, maybe that matters. And then maybe the car being completely empty of any blood DNA connection, maybe that matters a little bit more.
Well, I'm just not sure why it matters for probable cause. I think we're talking over each other, so I'll just go on.
Okay. I don't think probable cause is in a vacuum. I think probable cause isn't one thing. I hope it's not one thing. I hope there has to be a little bit more than one thing, especially when you've got another thing that's the same as the one thing.
Well, I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because you brought up blood DNA of an unknown individual that was found, I think, on the handrail.
Yes.
Doesn't that necessarily not exclude Mr. Koberg? What it may do is suggest there might be a potential other person in addition involved.
No shit.
So you
no
said
shit.
So see how he said. You see, I said I wasn't gonna. So Pav made a big deal about, and I think, and he's right. Like he said to who? He said to who he wasn't gonna. It's
there's so many. There's so many things in that. Hitler's annoyed stance of like, you're boring me. I don't know why it matters if there's blood of somebody else in the scene. At best, that means there was somebody else there too. How the fuck is that a known? Oh, at best, it means somebody else was there. Well, let me see. Your entire case is one guy did it alone. So if somebody else was there, yeah, it's relevant. I don't understand why it's relevant. At best, it says somebody else was there. Yeah, somebody else fucking was in there.
Exactly. That proved right there that he's an idiot. He's an idiot.
It's unbelievable. And he's like, well, I don't know why that matters. And here's the thing. One more thing. We got JJ backstage. So like I said, he did show up and he's going to be here a bit late. But I want to add one more thing. I know people don't like me to say this, but that was one of those moments where I told you, like, I feel like, God bless her heart, there's a lot of stuff that Ann Taylor did really good. She really did good. But that was one of those moments. It was not her crowning moment. To do that whole, maybe one thing tells you about another thing, which then tells you about another thing. Like, it's very confusing what the hell your fucking point's trying to make when you just go a thing leads to another thing leads to another thing. It's like, and you could have said that so much more strong. And the judge was already checked out. Like, I don't know why we're talking about this, and I can't follow your one thing leads to another thing. So it was horrible. But yeah, like I said, to have the judge tell you, well, I don't know why it matters if there's blood from somebody else in the scene. At best, that suggests somebody else was there too. Yeah, that's like the whole point, Judge.
No,
like how
exactly.
That's the whole point.
Can I go be a judge? Because I could do a better job. I mean, like, seriously.
Wow. All right, let's bring JJ up. State of the Deep. How you doing tonight?
What's up, everybody?
How Jules Down doing? Under, by the way, just as you dropped in, Jules dropped gift memberships. Thanks you very much, Jules. It's amazing having our Australian audience. By the way, I spent all day with an Australian and some ladies from Kentucky. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more as well. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're coming in. Anything special in your world today?
No, just a regular day, running around, rushed home from work. How you doing, DA, Robin, 1-1, and Dago? What's up, Den, Meatballs, and Mods? Good to be here.
So we're getting a little closer. We're getting a little closer to the truth or something.
I saw Pav's. I started.
We're talking about it. Yeah,
I heard. We just talked about it. Right. I was listening the whole way. Yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I'm curious to see what he said. But I was laughing to myself, and I was tempted to drop a comment in there and say, I like old Pav, but DA was onto this a while ago, but I was like, let me wait till I have time to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's stunning to me because, I mean, you can't prove it, but they had a redacted BK whose apartment had just been painted in there. And I swear, you look at it, and to me, if you just look at characters, the number of characters that would fit into the black box redaction, it's more of a Kopacka than a Koberger. The line's too small.
Oh, definitely Kopacka, yeah.
Right. And remember, let's never forget, Judge originally had said, Koberger, like he literally almost said Kopacka in the courtroom.
Yeah. If you want to
Kopacka was on the radar. And if he was on the radar, then when Steve says, well, based on timing advance records of somebody, we think that somebody else is the target, like it means everything all of a sudden. And
read it. Yeah, read this, JJ. Just take a look at that.
The yellow
I don't think they're talking about Brian Koberger there.
No, obviously not.
Right, because Koberger's apartment wasn't recently painted, and look, it even like I said, it even more supports Kopacka because Kopacka said he lived at the Pimlico apartments, but now all of a sudden he's down at the coffee house apartments where he gets shot and killed, and his roommate said, "I've only known him for a couple of months," which may mean that the apartment had just been recently painted because people just recently moved. Like the whole thing would start to make sense. BK is Brent Kopacka there. It's huge. Fucking good for Pav. Good for Pav.
Well, it's funny. I've talked about this numerous times. If we get onto the Kopacka thing, I mean, there would be a lot of reason, as I've said all along, for that to be covered up. And I still believe that Payne was pushed into the fold because of Kopacka. I really do.
Yeah, and I think when I suspect Howard Bloom, I honestly suspect Howard Bloom and his little, well, now looking at the crime scene photos, I don't think one person did that alone, and I think it's possible a friend. He basically said, I think it's possible a friend of Kohberger's did it, and that Kohberger was just trying to impress his friend. He may as well just said, hey, I think Devil's Advocates might be onto something with Kopaka and Kohberger being friends from Pennsylvania. you might as well just said that. Anyways, it's nuts.
Let's see what else. Yesterday, I did watch it last night. I didn't see that there would be any kind of big probative value in it. I mean, it's good to see the Corner Club. The problem is that I know JJ watched it too. The issue is that they redacted all the faces, and there's no audio. So, you could see Kaylee, you could see Maddie. I do know we are able to pinpoint, I guess, from some clothes that people were wearing. I think at one point in that 1 hour video, you do see Jack Showalter is in the bottom right corner. And he's pretty much like talking and laughing and whatever with Kaylee and Maddie. So that whole, again, another douchebag fuckery that they put out in the beginning, same kind of shit that they said, like BK cleaning his car and throwing garbage out. What did they say? They said, oh, Jack Showalter, oh, he was like following them and stalking them. Well, how is he like stalking them if he's talking and laughing? He's hanging out with them in the Corner Club. So,
by the way, I want to know. You mentioned when you were watching the Corner Club videos that one of the things you mentioned was Kaylee was on her phone all night long.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And I thought to myself,
yes,
did they during this investigation look at who Kaylee was talking to all night long on text? Was she texting with people all night long? Did any text messages ever get into discovery other than the window of the killing? Did they talk about what happened the night before? Who was texting who all night that night? Because you need to go back in time to see what was going on in their phones that night.
Right. Go ahead, Dago.
Me and my mod sat before I came in here tonight. We sat in Discord and we were going through the Corner Club, both the Corner Club, the newer videos, okay? And SRB was watching, like we had people watching specific people through the whole video, like keeping your eyes on that one person, right?
Right.
There are some points where Kaylee is standing by the bar on her phone texting, and she stops and turns, and she looks back with this weird look on her face. She does it a few times.
Yeah.
We know where Jack Decor was. He was in the other corner. We know where Adam was, so on and so forth, and a bunch of other people. The point is was there somebody in that bar that was texting her? Because based on her looks and her reactions, it almost looks as if there was that was saying, hey, I'm watching you, or I'm here, or I know where you are, or something like this, because the turn that she makes when she looks at her phone is almost like, what the hell, and she's looking around doing this, doing that. And I'm like,
I want to make a point. I want to make a quick point about the phone too. We've said it, but I can't like double down on it or triple down on it more. You watch the Corner Club video and I know in today's age, I know all the kids and people in college, I know people can't live without their phones. But you watch that video. Okay, they're there, they're laughing, they're whatever, drinking, having a good time. Kaylee's on her phone nonstop.
The whole time.
Nonstop. What happens at whatever I don't know, what is it, 254 or 256, whatever that specific time is. What happens? Maddie's phone and Kaylee's phone both go completely dark at the same time. That's it. They're gone. So to me, whatever happened with this, I don't know if stuff happened at 1:00 or something else happened with Ethan and Xana or whatever else. But whatever happened with Kaylee and Maddie, to me, started at that time at 2:54.
And in my opinion, and I don't know how they did it or if they did it, but in my opinion, looks like you got a gift over there, Dago, on your side. So let's pin that real quick. I'll get back to that in a second here. How is it possible for autistic PhD student with visual snow and a heroin addiction able to kill 4? Well, first of all, I don't think, by the way, I don't think Kohberger still had a heroin addiction. That's from when he was a teenager, which was a long time ago. And he cleaned up and he went to the gym. He lost a bunch of weight. So the narrative that keeps getting told that he was an addict, I don't believe he was a PhD student that was still addicted to drugs and heroin.
Like, no, but he was autistic and he had dyspraxia. Yes. So there's another disability there too. But thank you.
Two-thirds of that was great. Like, not sure, and that's just my. I just meant to.
Thank you so much for that. Straight from the horse's mouth.
So let me talk about the phone thing. This is because they sold the narrative that it was just a random. Koberger was out on a drive, didn't even have a plan on who he was going to do. He just decided to kill somebody that night, and we don't know how he picked the house. Because that was the narrative, that's how they get away with what the girls were doing on their phones prior to this is irrelevant. Because it was just a random act of violence at 4 a.m, pretty much at 4 a.m. So therefore, it doesn't matter. We don't need to look into who the girls were texting, because it wasn't a targeted hit. It wasn't something that was going on. It wasn't spillover from anything else. So therefore, they can give you, because we know it was just a random act of violence. It doesn't matter what the girls were texting all night long, and we all are like bullshit. First of all, it wasn't a random act of violence, in my opinion. There was a target. It's too personal. There was a target, and everything is about what was going on that night at the corner club. I've said that a million times. What was going on at the corner club has everything to do with this case. What those girls were texting in the hours before. Everything is relevant to what happened. But they're trying to convince America it has no relevancy because it was just a random act of violence that just happened.
Well, it's just as much as what Steve says when people challenged him and asked him about the whole Maddie, what did you say to Adam conversation? Oh, it was just probably girl talk. It was nothing important. And are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That statement alone within itself is probably in some cases the basis of the entire case, in my opinion. Okay. I don't know for sure, but it very well could be. I'm just saying. So that just kills me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The one thing I wanted to say regarding the video is I thought that one of the most interesting scenes of that corner club video was right at the beginning. So that was Jack Showalter with the Idaho sweatshirt, correct?
Yes. Okay. In the right corner. Yeah.
There's one in the very beginning of it. Maddie's at the corner of the bar. If you're watching the video, Jack's to her left and some other guys to her right. She leans over and it looks like she kisses Jack Showalter. If you watch that.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't know if it was a kiss or if he was whispering in his ear, but I saw that too, Joe.
Yeah, she turned. So then he turns and walks away, and the guy on the other side that's standing on the right kind of storms, at least how I interpreted the body language. Obviously, your face is redacted, but he kind of looked like he was pissed off, and he kind of the way he walked away. If you watch the body language, he looked like he was pissed off. And of course, to myself, I'm thinking, okay, and maybe she kissed him on the cheek. It didn't look like that to me. It looked like she pecked him on the lips, which is like, okay, that's interesting.
And there
was a
rumor, Joe, to go with that. It's interesting you said that there was a rumor, and I don't know that this is true. That's why I'm calling it a rumor, that Jake Schreiger had asked Jack Showalter to keep an eye on Maddie. Okay. That's a rumor. I can't verify that. But Jake Schreiger, of course, Maddie's boyfriend, is in Boise and asked that, which is one of the reasons why supposedly Showalter walked them home, so on and so forth. So that's kind of an interesting theory, Joe, to say, or not a theory, but a visual. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm just being clear to answer the person's comment.
Right.
It was Maddie. It wasn't Kaylee. And I watched it several times. Now it's hard because his face is blurred out. So when she leans into him, that you can't see the contact. But what it looked like to me, it was a kiss, like what you would do to your buddy. And then the guy on the other side looked I'm going by body language, kind of like walked away like he had an attitude or something. It could be nothing. But that particular scene caught my eye because I was not expecting that. I'm thinking, this Jack Showalter guy, they barely paid attention to him when they were walking to the grub truck, and at the grub truck, they barely paid attention. Now, people play games, obviously.
Yeah. And you have to ask, Joe, like if that happened, I didn't see it myself, so I'm pulling shit out of my ass now. But if that happened, could that be the basis of what if Jack if you're, are you alleging that Maddie may have kissed Jack Showalter, right? Or not?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that happened, could that be part of the basis of they're going to get you for that, Maddie, kind of thing? Like, did she piss somebody off that saw that, and he's like, they're going to get you for that shit? Like maybe he didn't even see it coming, and it just kind of, she did it, and he's like, they're going to get you for that. Like that could have been a problem that happened at that night,
Right?
And, you know,
and added her to the target list or something.
The last thing I wanted to say about that little, I'll just call it a scene, because it was a short thing at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
And I sent it to one last night. We went back and forth briefly about it. And I said, that's kind of interesting. I understand. I'm not like some prude guy. You know, I was young and hanging out in bars, and, you know, people may have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but they're out drinking, and stuff happens. You get flirty. You know, I understand all that. So I'm not saying, what I'm really focusing on is not that, oh my God, that has something to do with what happened. What I'm saying is, I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah.
Because of what I saw at the surveillance video of them walking, and then at the grub truck, right? There was no affection, it seemed like, between the girls and Jack Showalter. He was kind of like a third wheel, kind of looked like. But so when I saw that, it surprised me. I guess that's my point.
And Maddie was overly intoxicated that night too, and that will lead, unfortunately, sometimes to mistakable things that you may do. I've been there and I've done that. Not that exact same thing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%.
And now you see that they had the timing advance records of Maddie and Xana. So they know, we know they know when Xana got home. They know where Xana was.
Right.
So they're just hiding it from us.
There is no mystery.
Right. They know. We don't know. We're assuming we're trying to figure it out, but they know. They clearly know. There is no mystery. They know.
And now they're moving to reseal stuff again. After all the orders to unseal stuff, now they're moving back to seal stuff again. So here we fucking go. Yeah. I don't understand why we can't tell the truth.
So this just came out today.
New document, folks.
Right. It's a 2-page. I don't know if people can you read that or no?
It's pretty small.
Blow it up a little bit more. One. If you go to the 3 little dots up there, it'll blow it up a little bit bigger. There's usually like 3 dots in the top corner, and it'll give you the option. If you click on it, it'll show you where you can enlarge it a little bit more.
I hit maximize.
Yeah, I don't have that option either.
There should be like
I can read it. I mean, it's based upon the state's supplemental response to court's third order regarding sealed documents and motion to seal filed herein. The court does hereby confirm and order the state's supplemental response to court's third order regarding sealed documents and attached exhibit is exempt from disclosure and is sealed pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G1 for the reasons stated in the said motion. And
so more agreeing to seal stuff. And
more agreeing to seal. Yeah, right.
Because that makes sense. I mean, the case is over. We know exactly what happened. It was an incel who couldn't get laid that killed 4 people in the middle of the night randomly. So sense to keep all that hidden and lie about it and talk about and try to obfuscate who other suspects were and lie about timing advance records. And all of that's necessary because it was just an incel who couldn't get laid that decided to kill a bunch of people. That's why we have this level of unprecedented fuckery still going on fucking 3 years after the fucking plea deal. Are you kidding me? Like why do we buy this? Why does anybody buy that?
I mean, nothing. The thing is, as I gonna sound like a broken record, as I've said before, there's so many different things. Like for example, the one that we talk about all the time, DA has said it a million times. Every forensic investigator that's ever existed in the history of forensic science would investigate the people, either one close to or spouses or former spouses of the victims, and the people that were last seen with the victims. They wouldn't do that and clear them in a couple of days unless they knew who did it.
Right. And this also, just to jump in quick, JJ, what goes along with that too, if you think about it, I mean, I'm sure that they have the info. I'm sure like they know that Ethan got into an argument or whatever, something with Loach and all these other people. Why would they not make a big deal about interviewing all these other people and the Banfield people? And if they already know, that's the least famous thing. If they already know, they don't have to waste their time on some of this. So.
Right. And the one thing I've thought about a lot, and I've probably said it before, but I think it's a big one. See, I've always thought, like regarding the frat theory, that would they risk if they had evidence to point to something to do with the fraternities or a fraternity, let's say, they'd be, in my opinion, they would be at major risk if they knew about it and let it go. If a whistleblower came forward later, right? They could get, I mean, that would be one of the biggest corruption scandals in the history of criminal cases. They knew that it was connected to these group of people, and they didn't want it to look bad for PR, so they covered it up. And then a whistleblower comes forward in the future, right? So I've tended to steer away from that theory for that reason. Now, as far as Kopacka, now that's a very different situation because he's gone, supposedly, right? He's gone. So there, unless somebody that was there, if he had a connection to it, I'm not even saying that he was the sole perpetrator or anything like that, but if he had a connection to it, and the only other person or persons that knew about that connection were somebody that maybe they don't know about, right? Or if it's let's say Koberger was peripherally connected to it, well, they could railroad him like they might be doing, right? And they could be a way that they threatened him is why he's not saying, look, I was there, but I had nothing to do with it. But the other guy's gone, right? So he's not coming forward, right? So they with the frats, it's a very different situation because it's a lot of people. At some point down the road, a whistleblower could come forward. So that's why I've steered away from the fraternity connection.
Yeah.
This case is going to give me nightmares.
Real quick, if I can, I want to thank again from straight from the horse's mouth. Thanks, Lee. Who did Jack D call to get Murphy, or why did Jack D call to get Murphy, but he didn't call them to let her know their daughter was dead? I've always questioned that myself. Why did they not hear from him before anybody else? They were so close to him. They worshipped him per se. They treated him as though he was part of their family. In some ways and senses more than her. Great question, and thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Very generous and very gracious of you. But yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, because they knew early on, right? We pretty much.
He was put in the back of a police car, and according to them, they had no idea till around 1 o'clock their time. And I said, well, Jack knew pretty early on.
They knew like right 9. I think like between 9 a.m. and 9:30.
He avoided them for quite a while. If I remember right, he avoided them for quite a while.
Yeah,
which is an oddity for the whole thing.
Very
things
much
that make you go, Oh, there's the cat. The cat's back.
There he is.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh,
what do you think,
DA?
What do you think about that relating to the frats? Because I don't rule out anything, and I thought those people running in the background could have been connected to the frats. But what do you think about that? That they wouldn't try to cover that up because of a potential whistleblower.
Well, I mean, it's hard to link in the frats thing. I think you can't ignore the frats. I think frat members may have been involved. I talk about the hooping and hollering that you hear, that it sounds like they're trying to obfuscate what's going on in the background. That may have been frat people. As an aside, speaking of the frats, when I went to Moscow last time I went there, and some car came rolling in on me and giving me a hard thing and trying to spook me out and telling me to get the fuck out of the neighborhood. I swear that came from the frats. Like it was like Sigma Chi has got eyes on the neighborhood at all times. And when anybody drives into the neighborhood, off they fucking fly and send their enforcer over to go, get the fuck out of here. You don't belong here. Like, are the frats literally watching that neighborhood for people who don't belong there to come scare them off with their tough guys? Like, it makes you wonder what they know. And yeah, I think,
and if they are, why are they doing that?
Right.
I have
Robert,
3
what do you got?
words.
Yeah.
Skull and bones.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
3
lot
words.
of societies.
Good
You
point.
think frats can't keep secrets? Sororities
Absolutely.
can't keep secrets for years upon years? Sure they can. And
Right.
they know how to do it so that people will keep their mouths shut.
Right. And so to further this thread that we're going down, you know, if the document that we know is true and factual, if the document is Idaho is embedding Moscow Police Department into the Greek life and getting cops in there, right? And if they had discovered drugs running through the frats and the sororities, then the whole frat system's getting ready to get shut down. The college is getting ready to get shut down. And sure, why wouldn't they stick enforcers shutting this down? They might even cops might even encourage, hey, frat guys, why don't you fucking anybody that comes around here sniff around, get them the fuck out of here. Let us know immediately when they show up, because we got to shut this shit down right now. It's going to destroy the whole fucking school. So
I got something else I'm gonna throw at you guys tonight. Yeah. I've been sitting on this for about a week, maybe 2, but I've been seeing more and more things that are leading me to start to think this, and it's based on something we've all watched together, a body cam video we saw. Again, I was rewatching some other, like, we sat in Discord tonight and watched a bunch of different stuff. So I was rewatching some of the knock and talks with MPD and stuff like that, so on and so forth, and then reading some reports from other interviews and stuff. And at this point, I'm starting to believe that there was a party there that night, Saturday night. Okay. Mm-hmm. Many people, including when we heard the comment about one of the victims was a CI thing, they say it in that same exact sentence, that there was a party there that night. They believe. Okay. Yeah. They're talking to neighbors that live in the Queen Apartments. One on the right corner that's right above the 1122 house and on down. And multiple people are saying they were having a party there that night. People are saying they walked past the house. They were having a party there that night. Going into 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Yeah, they're hearing music playing. They're hearing this doing. They're hearing that going. Well, you're not going to be listening to music for one. Somebody made a great point with this. Dylan makes a statement that her and the girl that went to the bar with Kaylee and Maddie were watching Vampire Diaries at one point. Well, you're not going to be having music blaring and having a party going on, sitting down watching Vampire Diaries for one. So that kind of avoids that once again.
Right.
You know, but there's people walking by the front of their house, walking home to their apartment, saying there was music blaring from there, and it's normal, so nobody thinks twice about it. So there's people saying how obnoxious it is, how regular it is, so on and so forth. But I'm starting to believe that there very plausibly and very possibly could have been some form of a party going on at the 1122 house that night. So that being said, knowing the parties that they have, okay, and we're told that there were multiple parties at different places, but that kind of would change this a little bit for me. If there was a party going on at that house of any sort, there's not going to be just a secret attack and people murdered from that. Okay. What if something in the midst of this party went bad or went wrong during the party and kerplunk? Okay.
I mean, you're right about several things. It's, it can't both be an intimate little gathering sitting on the couch watching Vampire Diaries and there's a full raging party with music going on. Right. I will say this. I feel like on the audio, it's been a long time since I broke it down, but on the audio that Jules covered, it sounds like music gets turned on at the house after a bunch of screaming. And I theorized, did somebody turn on music during the cleanup? Like it was all over and they turned on some music and like, oh, let's get to work. Let's clean this thing up. And they put some music on and they jammed out the crime scene for hours. And that could have been the basis of the, hey, there's music.
The other part.
Playing music while cleaning up.
There were some other people, right, that did interviews that said they left. I know that there was I forget which guy it was. Someone said they left their phones at 11:22.
Hunter did make that statement at one point.
Like, like, what is that about?
Well, that's a good point, 1-1. But here's one more thing to Lee to add to what I was going to say, finish what I was going to say. But now that you said what you said, to add to that too, because people know that house. People that go to that house know that house. So what you just said would make a ton of sense. Let's blast the music. Nobody's going to think twice of this.
Right.
And people are not going to hear screaming or cleaning or this or that and so on and so forth. Nobody's going to think twice about it.
Yeah. Right.
It's a normal night at the 1122 house. So again, just
lots
saying.
of possibilities.
And 1-1. Yep. That is odd because nobody ever goes anywhere without their phones. I'm just saying.
Yeah, why would you leave your phone there?
Right.
Yeah.
Other than being intoxicated to the point where you don't even know who you are. Maybe, but I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
somebody else. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say just regarding the DNA and blood testing, it's the things that are major, like not there was more blood. There was blood splatter everywhere. There was on the railing, there was blood. There was a lot of things that just got kind of kicked to the side and explained away or not explained. Honestly, like, why wouldn't you test these things? Which will always, to me, scream cover up. So the things that I am very confident on, or the cover up is one that I'm 100% confident about. That's not a big stretch. I know that, but like, who was one of the surviving roommates connected to? Right. That was completely glossed over. And do we know, or does anybody specifically know? Because I can't recall. Were there any interviews released with Dylan's boyfriend?
With Quinn?
No.
Yeah. No.
Not a one.
So
not a
why?
one.
Nope.
Why? Right.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you the counter to the why. Why? Because he had an alibi. His alibi was he was in Boise and a phone call got placed from his phone in Boise that would make it impossible for him to have been there during the murders. The problem with that whole possibility is that it was a girl, supposedly, that talked to Dylan on the phone, and people said they saw Quinn's truck in town that night. So how hard would it have been for him to say, hey, babe, call this phone number at such and such a time to establish his alibi that he's in Boise when he's actually in Moscow, Idaho? So that the whole thing ruled him out because, he's got an alibi. He made a phone call to Dylan. We know he was in Boise. His phone's in Boise. That's good enough. He was in Boise. But it would have been super easy to have established that alibi, in my opinion. But
right. And then you saw the big black truck. Is that kind of the truck that he had supposedly?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the backfield footage. The big.
My understanding is that he did have one, but I know for an absolute fact that her father had that same truck too. So
yeah, I knew that. I saw some pictures about that, about the truck in his driveway and stuff like that. Why wasn't that truck ever brought up in the investigation? It makes no fucking sense.
No, and the weird thing too with that is whether it's his truck or she was just trying to say something, is we found out later on, right, from a further interview with Dylan. Dylan says that she looked at the window and she saw a black truck, and it was like the first that we ever even heard.
The black truck comes up a lot of different places.
Yeah, right. Like that. Like, to me, Dylan is their key witness, right? She saw Brian Kohlberger in the black. She saw she saw the perpetrator. Within 30 seconds of the perpetrator leaving, she claims she looks out the window and sees a black truck. To me, I would think that the black truck would be more important than a white Elantra.
You know what? I feel like we need to start referring to the black truck as suspect vehicle 2.
Yeah.
Because it's seen around the neighborhood about as much as the suspect vehicle one.
But the thing is, why would the feds not like? I'm saying this like almost like I'm pretending to be naive. I know why, in my opinion, but if we're looking at it from the nuts and bolts perspective, yes, I could see if there's some shady shit going on locally. But why would the feds? Because the feds would know that someone could not have their phone with them and somebody else could answer their phone, and their alibi doesn't mean shit. Like, you know, if the fact that that truck wasn't even brought up in any statements, nothing, right? I never heard them say like, you know, we investigated these different vehicles in the area around that time. So that would mean the feds would know, they'd have all this information, and people that are equipped to do real investigations, why wouldn't they address the truck that was leaving the area during the Banfield stop? Right. So that's one of the things that just blows my mind. And I've had so many different theories, and I've probably only mentioned like 4 of them ever on this show. I've had many others, and a few connected to that black truck, but I don't want to say what one of them is, because it's a little bit out there. But I just don't understand how such significant pieces of evidence can be brushed under the rug so quickly.
Like, well, Dago's got his tinfoil hat on. He was ready for your theory.
Go for it, Joe. I got the hat on. Let's hear it. It is what it is.
All right, I'm not going to say any names. I'll just you'll know who I'm talking about.
Real quick, Ange K, I just want to acknowledge that. Thank you so much. This group is awesome. This group is very awesome, and thank you so much for supporting the show. I appreciate that so much. All right, go ahead, rock on.
All right, so we know people who had trucks, right? And we know what we just talked about, who had a truck, and we saw pictures of it in their driveway.
Right.
Who was a big dude. Like big dude. Okay, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like related.
Somebody's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
A big dude. When I say a big dude, I mean
a big
yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big guy for sure.
And who, you know, we know of alleged exchanges between them where it's like, if anybody's giving you a hard time, you let me know.
Right? Yeah, and there were also things that needed to be extracted that were deleted between these two at some point. They had to bring an expert in to do that with. So yes.
Right. So one of the outside theories that I had is, what if there was shit that went down in the house, as shit does when you have a bunch of roommates in a house, different personalities, different ages, different dynamics between people. Shit goes down, and somebody goes crying to one of their family members about what happened, and that person gets lit up one night and decides to drive over there and stop by, and then an argument, and I'm just speculating, but an argument ensues, and then shit gets out of control. Now, I said it, I was clear, this is an outside theory, but because of the fact that truck was not even looked at, and why a certain person's story steered completely away from anything that would connect to that narrative, is why I think about
I've actually had that same theory and thought, probably 2-3 years ago, I thought about that, and it makes some real sense to me. It truly does. Honestly, because something can start at one level and escalate to a way different level very quickly based on tempers and emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then people will protect a boyfriend, a family member, right? That's just reality. That's the way the world works.
Right.
And so I'm just throwing that out there in relation to the truck.
Just to reiterate something, you guys, I had to laugh. Eric Gower is definitely not a big dude at all. I think My arm and him are about the same, so I'm just gonna give you that up, just so you know. He's not a big guy. Huge.
He's a big guy.
Guys. He's very big,
and he's mean looking. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah.
If you think Steve Gonzalez is a pretty bad looking dude, because he looks pretty tough.
Yeah,
this guy looks scary.
When I saw this guy, I expected to hear "Get to the chopper now" come out of his mouth like shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, 100% big guy.
And again, I repeat the old adage: you don't ask questions you already know the answers to. So that's why they don't ask those questions, and they didn't follow up on certain things, because they already knew what they needed to know, and that's why I think they didn't do those things.
There's also talk, JJ, going with that. Sorry, Lee, I didn't mean if I interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
That same person has very close connections to some other people that could be very dangerous as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that.
That's one more little tidbit to just weave into this thread of this amazingly huge sweater that we've been weaving.
God.
Yeah.
All right, look, can we spend a little bit of time tonight talking about something a little different than fucking 37
I got a new recipe for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the recipe?
I have no idea. I just said that.
Oh, you just wanted to, yeah. Well, I wanted to give a moment. Hopefully we don't lose everybody. I wanted to give a moment to tell you how critically important the interviews that we've done recently in Kentucky on the Mickey Stein's case, Ben Fields' case. We are starting to get heavy into that thing. We had the opportunity to meet with another YouTuber from Australia who made contacts in Kentucky, and we did a couple of interviews today. You guys need to get on board immediately with this case. As a primer, we talked to Jody from the defense rests. By the way, what looked like it's so funny, the difference between Australia, and UK, the British spellings versus US spellings. So I saw that she wrote a defense rest, and I'm like, hey, she spelled defense wrong on her name. No, that's how they spell it in Australia.
Yeah.
We spell it differently in the US. And you're like, wait a minute, if I put it on my thumbnail with the way she spells it, they'll all be like, DA doesn't know how to spell. And I'm like, no, it's like, our two countries spell certain words like color differently, or gray differently, or defense differently. Anyways, the point being is that, wow.
Before any of you meatballs try to run away or jump out of this pot, I will rip you right back down. Hold still for 5 minutes, because this case is another case that we here at the cafe have been covering from day one. Okay. And I'm telling you guys, you don't want to not hear this stuff. Okay. Just hold on for
Dago, and you and I've talked enough. Our generation doesn't want to put up with the shit that I just heard today,
right?
And you're getting involved in this too. Just to give you a teaser of one of the interviews, Taya has been interviewed by Brian Enton. She's been interviewed by Vinnie Politan from Court TV. She's got a documentary she's going to be in a documentary. You're going to get to know her very, very quickly, because she's going to be all over TV. She talks about meeting Kevin Mullins when she was an underage girl and forced to perform oral sex on the judge in the judge's chamber when her employee with him. And that's the start of how that conversation went. You need to hear the colossal fuckery in Kentucky that goes on. It is insane what they do to human beings in that juggernaut system, where the allegation can be made. They trap people in drugs. They get you into the system. They throw charges at you beyond what you can afford, because it's a very poor county, and then they just churn the wheels and turn you into sex trafficking and all kinds of shit. And now people are getting murdered in that case. If you thought that was a simple matter of the judge being shot in the judge's chambers, you are fucking missing a landmine. And I tell you, it's going to pop off. Wait till you hear some of the theories on why they think, if you watch the video, remember that video we all talked about, Mickey Stein's on the phone and who did he call? And then he asked for the judge's phone. These girls that I talked to today have a different theory about what that phone call was. And it's fucking amazing. You need to hear it. It's new shit to think about. So for those who, you have got a lot of brain capacity for stories that have a million different possibilities, get involved in this one. It's going to be insane. And
yes, I'm telling you, the Letcher County stuff, folks, for those of you that have been with me and Lee, I've been on this, like I said, I'm pretty sure you have too, right, Lee, from day one with that one. Yeah, I have too, guys. And there hasn't been a lot for us to show you guys, unfortunately, with this. Okay. It's slowly rolling out. But what Lee is talking about, oh my God, I'm telling you, it made me hold my breath. I'll put it that way. And I don't even know all of it yet. That's the thing. So
yeah, and like somebody said, the jail was like a brothel. Like they were literally checking women out from the prison system, like library books.
Yeah,
like
taking them home.
Hey, I want to have this chick for the night. You know, like they checked them out like library books in this system. It's elaborate, it's insane, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. I even had a video. The first video I did with Jody was called "Tip of the Iceberg," and then we did a follow-on video with Taya and Brandy, a couple of locals who are frankly putting their lives at risk to talk about their story to everybody that they can. The more people that get eyes on it, the more their lives are maybe safe, because people are going to want to shut them up. And so
Taya, I even said to you guys, Lee's right with that one. When I remember when Taya came out and I showed the interview with her and Brian Enton, and I said, I can't believe she's doing this. I can't, like, you got to have some like brass cojones and some serious like gumption, or you really want to get the truth out there to go through and do something like that, because that's some scary shit. So yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, as an aside, we talked about uncomfortable. We talked about, because we ended up talking about sex trafficking. We ended up talking about underage exploitation, grooming. We talked about drugs and drug addiction. We talked about like all the forbidden things you're not supposed to talk about. But it's funny because one of the things that Taya said was, essentially when she was meeting with people of like for other news agencies, all they wanted to talk about was the sexual scandal. They want to talk about the sex scandal, right? The sex parties that were going on, the trading the girls. That's what's got their attention, right? Super headliney. It's the sex scandals. But like they said, there's murders going on. And as I said, the two can't be separated. It's because of the sex scandal that people are getting killed in that case. And so the two are inexorably linked. Of course, mainstream media wants to focus on the sexy sex scandal part of it, but will they cover the murders? I don't think so, since Jennifer Hill just died in the middle of a lawsuit, and their coverage of that was, well, she just died. We don't know. We don't care how. She just died. And so all charges have been dropped in that case. And that's as far as mainstream media went with it. No follow-on, no like, hey, isn't that really suspicious in a case that's going to send high-level people to jail? That, oh, she just died. Okay, moving on. And on the 6 o'clock news. It's like, really?
And to answer your question in chat, you guys, why Enton? I think Taya had no idea where to go at first. Okay. And I think somebody probably said, hey, go check this out. This guy seems to cover this and that, because now she's definitely like broadening her horizons and going in better directions. She really does want the world to know this, guys, in a bad way. So.
Right. And that's where we're at right now. It's like, again, she wasn't picking, I think, these places. They came to her and she's trying to tell her story to whoever will listen, because it's a bit of protection for her, right? Again, the more people that know what's happening, the less likely they can just shut people up because everyone knows about it. So it's kind of that catch-22 area. You don't want to be the person who's got, well, I'll tell you this. There's rumors that somebody had video footage. Jennifer, who died. Okay. So who died? They won't tell us how she died. Our best guess is she overdosed. Some believe
that's their answer to everything. Yes.
A forced overdose, right? Oh yeah, she's a drug addict, so of course she's going to overdose. That's the way it just happens. When you're a junkie, you overdose, especially if you've got video footage of the judge in bed with, and you'll just have to watch the video to find out who you heard he was in bed with. There's video footage supposedly Jennifer had of the judge in bed with certain people that make every fucking bit of difference on who he was in bed with.
Very important people. Yeah.
And she just died. The footage is now gone. Actually, I've been told it's not gone, but it's suddenly out of everybody's eye, and they're not going to talk about it. So probably because it'll get people killed. So, anyways, that case is nuts.
And every death, like he was saying, that I've looked into when I started looking into this, it's either a drug overdose or a suicide. Every damn one of them. There's no way in hell that this many people in the same exact place and this many times are going to die from the same exact thing like this. This is their answer to everything, and that's the best way to hide it, in my opinion. So,
right.
And Taya, just to let you know, and I want it to be Taya's story to tell, but Taya told me of 2 people related to her that she believes were murdered. And so you want to hear it from her. It's her story to tell, that she believes in her gut that 2 people extremely close to her were murdered because of what they knew in the case. And so she's got, like you said, cojones to go out there and put her name out there when maybe people that are close to her are literally being killed around her as she talks about it. So it's big. It's huge.
There's going to be a lot coming. If I'm correct in saying this, Leah and I are going to be working on this together to bring it what we can when we can to you guys on both sides of this matter here, or both sides of the fence here. And it's going to get, well, my opinion is the more we talk about it, the deeper it's going to get.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell JJ to take some time off and meet me in Kentucky and go on the drive so he can maintain the birdseed camera and do footage like we did in Moscow.
When are you going?
I can't say. I'll tell you why I can't say, because I'm afraid for
Don't say.
No, I'm in town. I wouldn't say. So I decided to hold my dates off. Only a few people know the dates, and so if I go missing, my team will know when I'm there. But I decided I don't want to publicize exactly when I'm going to be there.
Yeah, Sandra Martin, that's a good point. And not only you're talking about Ben. Not only was he made a trustee on the first day he was put in jail for his crime that he committed, they moved other inmates to different cells so that he could be in the cell that was closest to the guards station, and he had access to food. He had cigarettes within his cell and his personal cell, access to walk freely within the jail area. What prisoner do you know that does that has committed a crime such as this? Okay, you don't allow that, guys. It just
and real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jody from the Defense Rest in the chat right here. Please go over and subscribe to her channel.
Yes.
ASAP, because she's the one that put me in touch with these two ladies. She's the one that's been doing from Australia. She's a pit bull, and she started to get people to talk to her, and it's been great. And so I'm working with her, and we're all going to be working with her, and we're going to try to give these girls a voice and hope to protect them by exposure, right? By making sure that everybody knows what's going on. So if there's more mysterious fuckery, we're going to call that shit. And hopefully we don't have to do that, because it doesn't do them any good if they're expired.
No.
But we want to make sure that doesn't happen by shedding a lot of things. Right. So thank you, Jody, so much. I hope that people will subscribe to your channel immediately. Check out what you're doing. Watch the video interview that you and I did this morning. And then we did a follow on with the girls, which will air for the public probably a week from now, but it's available to members only tonight. I'm going to have that up tonight, the interview that we did with the girls. If you want to pay $3, you can go watch it. If you're already a member, you just get it. It's just free content, and it'll probably be coming out. Here's the thing. We need to try to hype this up, guys, because everything that we do that's non-Idaho just dies, just dies. And this case needs attention, especially for these girls' safety. And I'm not just, that's not blowing smoke. They literally,
real shit, guys.
More people need to know what's going on in Kentucky.
Just a little bit that I heard, guys.
To this, I want to just real quick. I want to speak to this as a woman. Okay, please, if you can, please watch. Help us keep these women safe. And I'm being totally serious. As someone who has been through a little bit herself, okay, I can speak to how important this is. So in the next few months here, it's this kind of coverage for these ladies, and indeed this issue is going to be extremely important. So please help support what we're doing so that we can help support what they are doing.
Lee, drop Jody's link in the private chat so I can drop it in my chat as well, please.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to do that. I'll do that for you. Give me a second. But anyways, so make sure everybody goes there. Try to get some attention and eyeballs on this because it's extremely important. There's big issues. And by the way, as an aside, that racket that's being run, that whole we allege that it's a system designed to trap people into the system and give them no way out. That is being done in small towns all over the United States. That I've been told. I had a woman come forward to me when I first started covering this. I had a woman come forward to me and say, by the way, that happened to me in Denver. That same thing happened to me in other places. that whole scenario, especially with the ankle monitoring system of offering girls home arrest and then saying, hey, if you can't pay it, you can just do me a little favor on the side and you won't have to pay your bill this week kind of thing. And if you decide to tell somebody about it, you'll go right back to jail and I'll put more charges on you for violating the ankle monitor I took you off. That shit, that same scam is run on other places in the United States. And JJ, I hope you remember what the hell you were going to say earlier when I cut you off.
Well, I was just going to say, when I was on that live on that video meeting with you guys the other night, and because I came in a few minutes late, and when I caught on to what I thought you guys were talking about, I almost fell out of my chair.
I know you did.
Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah.
That's why I asked if you were still breathing, bud. I was like,
Dude, you saw that. I was like, I'm not going to say anything about it now, but I was like, are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yeah.
It was quite interesting.
I'll say it. I'll say it. Here's the thing. There's a reason why some people believe, I'm going to keep it brief. There's a reason why some people believe that, do I want to say it? That the judge may have agreed to look like he died because the judge himself was going to help go after somebody higher up in that state. Now, you know how I feel about talking about witness extraction situation, but I will tell you this. If there was ever a case for it, this is the kind of case it would look like to me, more than an Idaho 4 case. But
let me tell you guys this. Let me say this real quick. Sorry, Lee. Go watch what you can find of it now. Go watch the video of Mickey shooting Kevin Mullins. Go watch the video, folks. Whatever you can see, because they blurred most of it now.
Right.
Go try to watch it and see what you come back with.
Yeah,
let us know.
Watch closely.
And I want to be fair with it, though. I want to be fair with it. Some of the things I've heard would not make sense for it to be that. And some of the things that I heard would make sense. So here we go with another fucking case where there's going to be more than one theory that has legs. So buckle up. That one's going to be nuts.
Yep.
You need to buckle up twice on this one, you guys.
Well, I mean, it's like we always say, when power and money are involved, anything's on the table as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And like I said, yes, Joe, that's a good point. Watch that video and watch the gun and watch the reaction that Kevin has when he's shot. Just pay very close attention. That's all I'm saying.
And I haven't seen it for myself, but if you listen to, I don't know if it was Brandy or Taya said, not only watch his reactions, but watch the bailiff's reaction that comes in and how he reacts to apparently the shooting of the judge under the table, and watch it. Just watch. Just if you can find the video that shows the bailiff coming in and seeing the judge, tell me what you think about his reaction. I haven't seen it myself. I've been told what it looks like, and I was like, well, that's some shit there. I gotta look at that myself. So we'll see. Thanks for getting your tinfoil hat on, because I almost feels like you kind of need it on some of that.
Well, I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it, but that don't mean I need it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's do some closing for the night. We talked a crap ton about Idaho 4 as usual. The Brent Kopacka, new kind of stuff. The timing advance records, new kind of stuff. And Idaho 4 now, again, the sealing more documents. We're going backwards. Let's unredact everything. Nope, let's re-redact everything. Let's reseal things. What the this case?
You know what they're doing? What that reads to me like, Lee, by the way, not to interrupt again, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The that document, for me, from how I'm reading and understanding this, okay, is that they dropped those documents that were all screwed up, whoever screwed up and dropped them with everything exposed, and then they yanked them back real quick. Now, what this document reads to me now is that they're resealing everything, and then they're going to re-release the documents that they screwed up on.
Yeah.
What that's what, like, these are their mistakes, obviously.
And we didn't talk about it tonight. I feel bad. I'm going to try to spend a little bit of time. Again, the audience tends to check out when we talk about this, but Luigi Mangioni's case is at a pivotal moment where the state wants to go after Luigi Mangioni months before the federal government wants to go after Luigi Mangioni, so that Luigi Mangioni is supposed to fight 2 cases at the same exact fucking time, which it seems insane. What are we laughing at?
Can I tell you something funny about the Luigi case?
Yeah. Is there something funny about it?
Yeah. There is. Last night at about 6:50 p.m., some dude with a pizza cutter and a barbecue fork tried to break Luigi out of jail.
I heard that. I heard that he went in there saying that he had an order from the FBI to come release Luigi Mangione. They made it sound like in the article I saw that he almost got away with it. I fucking highly doubt he almost got away with it.
A pizza cutter and a barbecue fork. He almost got away with it. Come on.
He was gonna. Yeah, Luigi's got to get out with the pizza cutter. Like,
well, they should have brought. I was gonna say they should have brought a fucking garlic press and a pair of spaghetti tongs. That would have worked better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I did see that article, by the way. I did see it. I didn't feel it was it might, because tomorrow is technically the day that I try to do Luigi content. So it might be worth it, but I don't want to do clickbaity bullshit. But I saw exactly what you saw, the guy that was posing. So maybe I'll make a comment on it. Maybe I'll make a small video, but it just I don't think they nearly got away with it. But we'll see.
Well, if they did, we need to look into the jail there. That's the problem. Yeah.
Several people told Joe and I when we were down in the Boise area, going to CUNA, that we should have posed as federal agents, saying that we were here to visit Koberger and that we're with the FBI and see if we can get into the front door. I said, I'm not actually a fan of getting arrested for impersonating the FBI, so probably not a good idea. But you should have done it. You should have done it. I'm like, no. That's a serious. I
mean,
to try to pose.
They'll all tell you, we'll bail you out. Don't worry about it. I think the problem is not having that on your record to begin with, folks.
Right. All right. Well, let's go around the horn. Dago, JJ, 1-1, Robin, and I'll close. So, Dago, do you have any closing thoughts for the evening?
First off, again, always a great conversation, always great company. And all of you guys are absolutely amazing. As always, thank you to everyone that shows up, that supports us all. And we appreciate being able to sit here and have these conversations in front of and with you guys, 100%. Thank you to Lee, Robin, JJ, and 1-1 for having me here. As always appreciated. I definitely feel part of the family at this point, and it's an amazing feeling, guys. I love it. So always looking forward to the next show. As soon as I start the current show, I'm always looking forward to the next one, guys. So I hope you guys are as well. And again, keep your antennae up and moving around on this Letcher County thing, guys, because I'm telling you, if you want to miss out on this, then you're losing your mind. If you like true crime, you don't want to miss any of this. This is insane. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen and heard in my life. I'm telling you. So pay attention.
Right. And we are going after, I've been filing public records requests in the Letcher County case. I've been downloading and paying for documents off the Pacer site related to the case. I'm going to be sharing all that information with Dago. Dago and I are we've agreed that we're going to work this case together, because we both agree that case is a monster. And so we're going to be working together. So you're going to expect to see probably a lot from him on his show about it, and a lot from me on my show. And then you're going to see the two of us talk about it. So it's a thing. JJ, what do you got?
Well, thank you again, everybody. I love you guys, and I appreciate everybody in the den and the meatballs and the mods. And two things I wanted to say. I'd like to get people's feedback on that Corner Club video and what I was talking about earlier. And then also last night I started watching that series. It's either on Amazon or Paramount Plus. It's called The Last 24 Hours.
Yes.
Where it's like these famous kind of high profile people that died. It's basically leading up to the last 24 hours of their life. It kind of goes through that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I started watching the River Phoenix one last night, because I was a big fan of River Phoenix. And it's very it's interesting because you're getting some of the background information that's just interesting. Like, I didn't know that Flea was good friends with River Phoenix. I didn't know that until years and years later. But they do, it's like a dramatization, basically, they do. But that seems pretty interesting. I think true crime fans would enjoy that. And otherwise, we'll just get back at it. I'll be here tomorrow. I look forward to it. And
we're going back some decades. We got Kurt Cobain, we've got Flea, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and River Phoenix, and we're going back in time with some of these cases.
But it's old school cool shit, man.
You're the best shit ever and the best time ever. I'm telling you, for real.
Yeah,
What do you?
That's true. I don't know if you knew that, JJ, but Flea rode in the ambulance to the hospital with River.
Like, I didn't know that until years later.
Yeah, pretty wild, isn't it?
That is crazy. All right, one
great discussion. Thanks everyone coming out. Meatballs, Denizens, Dago, JJ, Robin, Lee.
Thank you for staying up on the Kopaka stuff today and that breakdown for Kopaka. That was great.
Yeah. Awesome. So I saw earlier in the chat, I know someone said like, oh, you know, Pav put this out. Yeah. We if someone puts something out and we think it's relevant and it's good info, we're gonna talk about it and give credit to that person that put it out. You know, that first, you know, pulled on that thread. So keep pulling away, keep keeping you know, open mind, and you know, it seems like every day something else comes out. You know, we're getting, you know, it was just a few days ago we get this info. Oh, you know, we know that 2 people were a target. And we got the info there. A lot of the info is there in the documents. We'll just keep pushing. I do. It does feel like something is going to break in this. You know, maybe not tomorrow. Maybe, you know, maybe not this weekend. But we're getting there. You know, we got Howard Bloom, right? He you know, he hasn't said anything about Kopaka, but he has said he believes that they're, you know, he's somebody else did it. He's a so-called kind of mainstream kind of person, right? With his book, and he's putting it out there that there's a, you know, if BK did this, he didn't do it alone. So keep your eyes open.
Bloom almost said Kopaka didn't even do it. He just helped out because he had forensics knowledge. It was almost like. It almost went from not only did BK have help, but maybe he didn't do it and he just helped out because he had book smarts.
Right. He did. Yeah, he did say that. So
it's amazing for a guy that wrote a book on it. Here's how he did it. And here's what he was thinking when he did it.
And then other than that, I listened to another case on Framed. You know, we brought it up and we bring it up almost daily. You want, you know, it's kind of sad to listen to.
Book.
It is.
Yes.
It really is sad. Every story. And there's a lot more. I mean, these are 10 cases that they put in there. I hope that they come out with another book, you know, more of these cases, you know, so knowledge is the key. It's important.
Don't forget that one either. That's an amazing one too.
Yeah.
The Innocent Man. Yeah.
Important that you find out this info, but this stuff goes on, you know,
real.
This stuff is real that's going on. And hopefully we can make some kind of change and make people aware of this stuff. So.
Absolutely. All right, Robin and your cat. What's the cat's name again? Oh, you're muted.
That's Coda.
Coda.
Coda Kitty.
Yep, Coda the kitty. And to your point, Woman, you're absolutely right. This stuff does go on. This is very important. And I just want to thank Jody from the Defense Rest for reaching out to us to kind of partner with her and bringing Kaya and Brandy's stories further into the light. And, you know, if you are out there and you are not alone, if you want to talk to someone you feel is trustworthy, we will listen to you with compassion. We will listen to you with respect and give you the space should you want it to tell your story. And and we want to be not just a true crime channel, but we truly do want to be that one half of our name, advocates for truth and for justice. So please, if you need someone, you can always talk to us. So do not hesitate to reach out. We have a myriad ways of doing that through our Discord, through email. There's always ways to reach us. So don't hesitate.
Absolutely. And I want to say as a final goodbye on this side, thank you all for the number of people who did stay with us to the end. I know that when, we were clearly in a long wrap up mode. Everybody's just saying their goodbyes. It could give you like, hey, I'm going to go check somebody else out real quick. See you later. Bye. And yet hundreds of people have stayed to listen to us say goodnight. And that means a ton for us. We survive on watch time hours. We survive on you sticking with us. So the longer you stick with us, the more likely that we can keep bringing you this content. So I realize it's not the most exciting part saying goodbyes, but it means so much to us when so many of you hang on to stay there all the way through and give us that watch time. It helps everything for both Dago's channel and my channel and any other channel that comes on that wants to support us. Those all mean very, very much. Thank you, everyone. We will do it again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you check out this morning's video on the Mickey Steins case with the defense rests. If you haven't seen it, that's for free and available for the public right now. And a pre-look ahead to the interview we did with Taya and Brandy and the defense rest Jody is going to be available in about an hour or two. It'll be no, it's available right now. It's available. I forgot. It's available right now for members only. So you can, I forgot. I already did it before. I see my days all blend together. Everything just fucking blends together. Anyways, I already uploaded it. It's already there for members only. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Panelists, thank you so much for coming. We'll see you again, hopefully tomorrow night. I know not everybody can make it every night, but I'm looking forward to being with you guys again. It's like a family. So thank you.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.